Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Gio, and today we're going to talk about the atrocity known as the Buffalo Sabres.
The truth.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been having a good day, and hopefully my video can make your day a bit better. So, I guess let's get into it. So, the video today is going to be another NHL video because I figured I haven't done one in a while since my last one was on PK Subban. So I figured, what other video should I do than a team that's been really bad for a really long time? And just talk about what's bad about them and maybe what they could do to fix it. So the team I'm going to be talking about today is a team called the Buffalo Sabres. The team that has pretty much Jack Eichel and then nothing else that's relevant. Yeah, if you're a Sabres fan, I'm sorry, but that's kind of true. But let's talk about the Sabres. So Buffalo Sabres, first of all, like I said, are really bad and haven't been in the playoffs for 9 years, making it the NHL's longest playoff drought of all time, meaning that their team has made history for being the team that's gone the longest without ever seeing playoff hockey. And I'm not sure if the Sabres have made the playoffs ever. I'm sure they've made the playoffs as a team. Yeah, well, yes, they have made the playoffs as a team, considering I think it was 2006 they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals where they lost to the Stars. But when it comes to now, they're just an atrocity to watch on the ice. Like, unless they were playing the Devils this season, every other time they just looked awful. So, for example, let's look at the Buffalo Sabres record this year. Now, obviously there weren't the 82 games that were played, considering the season was postponed. But judging by the 69 games that were played by the Buffalo Sabres, they only won 30 of them. Yes, you heard me right, they only won 30 of the games, as their record was 30, 31, and 8. Now you may be thinking, how is a team seriously this bad? Well, obviously the team isn't going to be as bad as the Detroit Red Wings, because the Red Wings were just a freak show to watch on the ice this season. But the Buffalo Sabres were very close when it came to being bad. Even though they were only 2 points out of the 2014 playoff bracket this year. I mean, the Detroit Red Wings only won like 17 games, so I guess you gotta be lucky that you're not playing for Detroit. But at the same time, if you don't know who this guy is, I'm sure you know him, but there's this guy named Jack Eichel, and he was the second overall pick by the Buffalo Sabres in 2015. And he's literally the only thing that's good on their team, unless you count Rasmus Dahlin, who was first overall pick in 2018. Now, you may be thinking, oh, maybe they can just, sign some better players and all that. Well, here's the problem. Their best player is Jack Eichel, and he's making $10 million a year, meaning that $80 million of their cap hit that they're going to have is going to go just straight to him, considering he has an 8-year contract. And what's even worse is the fact that Jack Eichel doesn't even want to play in Buffalo. He said several times that he hates playing for Buffalo because of how much that he's losing. And we don't have a guarantee he's being traded, but I'm sure he wouldn't be upset if he was traded to a different team. In fact, I think he'd be delighted. But anyways, I've got a few funny clips that I'm going to show, like for example, the game between the Buffalo Sabres and the Edmonton Oilers, where they literally had a player, I don't remember which player, but he was open backdoor, basically meaning that if you just passed it straight to him, he was going to be able to tip it in. So of course he did that, and then he managed to somehow mess that up. Honestly, how that's possible, I don't know, but that's just one of the funniest clips that I've seen of the Buffalo Sabres. And pretty much they're just in cap hell. Like, they still have Rasmus Ristolainen, and he's awful. And then you have players like Zach Bogosian, who was playing for them, but was so bad that he got sent down to the minors, and he refused to go to the minors. Like he literally refused to show up for like one game for Rochester because he was having a bad day. And as a result, he got waived, and Tampa took him. But you've got like the fact that they also made a really stupid trade, considering I don't think I'm the only one that remembers the Ryan O'Reilly trade, considering that they thought that VC and Sabotka were going to be enough for that. it's like you traded away probably your best player you have for like two minor forwards that are not even really gonna help the PK, and you give them like one pick, or no, you gave them a first round pick, which you thought it was a good idea. But then guess what? Ryan O'Reilly goes on to be traded to the Blues and win a Stanley Cup with them. Meaning that since the Blues just won the Stanley Cup, you get the 31st overall pick, so hooray for you. I'm sure you enjoyed that. Well, they did get the 7th overall pick where they took Dylan Cousins, but at the same time, you gave away Ryan O'Reilly. Not to mention, they lost Ryan O'Reilly and they don't even have Robin Lehner anymore, considering he went to the Islanders, and then from the Islanders he was a free agent that signed in Chicago, and then from Chicago he got traded to Vegas. But honestly, it's just like, that trade was probably one of the biggest signs that they were going to be doomed. Because Ryan O'Reilly, he goes on to be traded to the St. Louis Blues, win a Stanley Cup with them the same year, and then manage to win the Conn Smythe as most valuable player of the playoffs. Yeah, so nice job, Jason Botterill. I'm sure everybody loves you for that. And it's to the point where even fans, like I don't know if you guys know the YouTuber Melody Martin, but she just writes songs about the Buffalo Sabres and how bad they are, and like makes fun of them at times. But honestly, fans in Buffalo, pretty much the best hopes that they have are the Bills, but even the Bills are kind of disappointing at times. So Buffalo to me is just like a city full of bad teams. Now there was like that one year that they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals and lost to Dallas in a very controversial goal. Other than that, they've just been bad. Like really, really bad. Just every single time, like, except for the season where they played against the Devils, because the Devils were very, very bad this season. I mean, the Devils just... do you guys remember that game? Well, that is if you're watching this and you know about hockey. I can't be the only one that remembers the game where literally the Buffalo Sabres scored 5 goals in the first period. And I think they won like 7-1 or something like that. But seriously, like, and that was the Devils' Louis Domingue, their starting debut, and he managed to give up 5 goals in the first period. I'm surprised that the Devils didn't pull him right there. They decided to keep him. Like, I guess you could say like Kyle Oposo is a bit okay, but other than that, they just he's kind of disappointing. Like Ristolainen, I'm sure if the Sabres are gonna make a trade soon, it's definitely going to be Rasmus Ristolainen that gets traded. It's just insane to see the way that they are. Because I guess you could say like Reinhardt's sort of good, but then you've also got like Linus Ullmark, and then you've got who's their backup? Linus Ullmark, and then you got like Hutton, and then both of them they're disappointing for their team. Like they don't have good goaltending. They don't have good players except for Jack Eichel and Rasmus Dahlin, and they're just a clown show to watch on the ice. Like even like when they were in Arizona and they were playing my Coyotes, I was annoyed because we were down 2-0 against them, and they did so bad that they managed to choke a 2-goal lead, and then we managed to come back and win. It's just amazing to see that the Buffalo Sabres can really do that badly, and then you have like Jason Botterill who thinks the team is fine. To be honest, Buffalo, I feel for you guys. Your fans must hate where they're at right now, but at least you get a first round pick, and other than that, you're not a good team, and you're pretty much kind of just the laughing stock, like to the point where you barely have any fans that go to your games. Like you're starting to look like the Florida Panthers in your stadiums. So yeah, you might want to try to make some trades, and maybe first of all you're going to need a good goaltender, and your best goaltender you had was Robin Lehner, and yes, I understand that he was not the greatest, but I do give him an excuse for that considering he was gone due to, I think he had like a huge migraine problem that was causing him to like not be able to focus, and at the same time Linus Ullmark had this problem involving his eyesight. But other than that, your offense just doesn't know what it's doing, and the defense is extremely bad as well. Anyways, that's going to be my video for you guys. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, maybe hitting that like button. And still trying to do a Q&A, so leave me a comment if you want a Q&A. And as always, stay awesome, stay quarantined.